Alright, so let's see what we can do here. Now I've got this guy up here, and I wanted to do these cards. So I'm going to start doing these cards, and in this place where it's yellow right now, yellow elector, I think I'm going to change the color. So I'm trying to make a card game. I need some number of cards. I'm not sure exactly how many. I'm thinking around 100, but there should be a reasonable number of those that are duplicates, right? So I'm not really sure exactly how many I need. And so the whole point of this card game is to act sort of like politics. So I'm going to have some red cards and some blue cards, or red electors and blue electors. And because two people's no fun, four people's more fun, I wanted to add in uh, green and maybe another one. Here I've got yellow. I might go with purple. Um, so yellow for, I think we have an idea about red would be sort of Republican-y, blue would sort of be Democrat-y, green would sort of be greeny. Um, and then I was thinking yellow for libertarians, but maybe just a purple for uh, something not really red and not really blue. I'm not really sure. I don't really know, but these were the ones I was first putting together. So now, originally this game was going to be a game that it's still going to be a game you play over and over, but each person had their own deck. So each person would have the yellow deck and each person would have the red deck. And I didn't really get done with that original game, and it's been over a year and a half. And I was thinking, this would actually be more fun as a deck builder. That way, when you're destroying your opponent's cards later on, you're also destroying your cards as well. So, the point of the game is you keep playing with the same deck as things happen. So maybe once a game you could have one of these little circles be X'd out or put a little brownie face in them or whatever it's going to be. And at the end of that, maybe something happens. So maybe you cut the card in half and throw it away. Maybe you burn it and throw it away, right? Or something like that. People would be pretty happy if they got to burn the trump card, right? That would be my guess. Okay, that little dot was not real. Okay, so that's why I wasn't able to leave it. So I want to do these things, and I want to get drawings for them so that I can actually let people play around with it. I think after I get all the drawings done, maybe even before, after I get all these put together, I'll put the whole thing together in a PDF so you could print them out on cardstock and play the game with your friends even before I put the scary pictures on them. Although, from what I've been told, the pictures make it more fun, which is part of the reason why I'm doing this. So I got this mixed media paper. I'm going to do the drawings here on. These are right now 1.4 by, what did it say, 1.4 by 2 by 2. I don't really like that. I think it should be. Let's see what it looks like if I go to 1.5. Okay, I thought oh, it's not letting me do each one by, it's making me do them independently. Okay. So I think it'd be more fun if it's a little bigger. You do have to remember that at the top and the bottom there's a little bit of stuff there. So, oh no, okay. I can't do any fine things because in order to get all the stuff in here, like the headset and stuff, I don't have my keyboard plugged in. So that's the reason why it's not working well. This is a laptop. Let me see. Now I stopped using the real keyboard for this laptop. There we go. There we go. That's what they look at. So we have unlicensed podcasters, Ponzi technologists, pot farmers, crack gunheads. So I don't know if you remember, there was an old game, and probably still exists, called Illuminati. That was a really great game. had all sorts of different pieces of society, and each piece of society had a power, and you controlled them, and they gave you money, and you tried to win the game by screwing your friends over. One of the best things about Illuminati is that each one of these things, like the FBI or the CIA, they each had a card, but they weren't the Federal Bureau of Investigation. They had another name, and if I was being really intelligent, I would have actually gone into the garage, dug that old copy out of the cardboard box somewhere, and come through and told you that. Let me go check. Make sure I didn't actually do that. So I do have a few games out here, and no, got strange games that I never actually played. I have a couple games I actually played. Mostly they're strange games I never actually played. A few years ago I was trying to get a bunch of people together for a game night, and I was unable to do it, which makes me sad. So if you need a game night, come to me. That's what I need to. Alright, so anyways, I want to get the art together for these things, so I pulled out this mixed media thing. So the mixed media thing, here, what is this good for? Well, for one thing, I can just draw on it. That's fine, with my stupid little mechanical pencil. Maybe bring in a Sharpie to make some inky lines so that it will look good-ish as a printout on your card. So if you get some cardstock, you can just get that at Home Depot, like this stuff, right? And you print it out, prints out fine in just about any place that you use regular old printer paper. You'll be fine. So I want to use this because, if I use this stuff, I can use acrylic, water paper, pen and pencil. Basically, I can sit here and do the drawing, and then if people actually seem to like the game, then I can go ahead and later on put together I can just paint directly on here with, some gouache or something like that. Maybe it's just a wash. I don't remember. So we want to have something like that. Now we just looked at that. We said the size of this thing is going to be like 1.5, right? So I think those are bridge size cards that I put together. I'm not sure. It's like 1.5 by 2 inches, which is something small like this, right? So it's like a box this big. That's way too small, right? This box, which you can't see, but that's where I can't see it from looking way over here to my screen. That's way too small, right? So we need to make something bigger. That's okay because, when we scan this, we can then just make it smaller. It's not an issue, right, when you're in the computer. So we can just multiply by 4 here. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got 6 inches there. The question is, do we have 8 inches over here? And we do. So we could make it that big. That's still pretty big, though. So I was thinking maybe 4.5 by 6. Does that seem pretty good? So something I can do is I can just come over here. I want 6 inches, and if I hit this more or less on the screen, this will be close enough to square that I can do that. So that's 6 inches there. And did I? Yeah, I did. I had this flush, and I did not have that quite flush. Okay, let's do these two here. All right. So then when I come back down here, I can do the same thing. I can say, all right, 2 here, 8 here. And all I have to do is sort of draw a straight line between these guys. And this doesn't have to be really dark or anything like that. It's just a guide, right? And so if I get these in here, I mean, this is just going to tell me where I can't go out of. Maybe since I've already done that, let's put another little 1/2 inch here. So that, is this less than 6? Okay, that's 6. It's less than 6. Oh, there's the problem. Okay. All right. Okay. Could have been a problem early on. So, this isn't going to be so much of a big deal. It's just pencil. It erases. And we're going to put ink on top of it. So, I'd like to do these live streams. I haven't even figured out where to live stream at this point. I was doing some thinking, okay, where are some old accounts? One account that I thought would be a good one, partially because that was when I was cartooning, I was using that alias. Turns out not to be any good on turns out to be not to be any good on the Google. So it's no good on Google, and there's no reason to do it. So that's not really 4.5. That is. And I'm being a chump already. That's alright. These things, so many things, you don't need to make it exactly perfect, because this is just an outline, and I guarantee you I will be going outside of it. Anyway, so, though it's good to have this outline, it might actually be good to emphasize this outline in the drawing so it looks like when I take something out of it, I take something out of it. Now let's go to unlicensed podcasters. Really, right now we don't have licensing requirements for podcasters. And hopefully we never will have to, right? So, I don't know, I'm sure none of you actually listen to my podcast. That's actually not true. I mean, podcasting is sort of like YouTubing, right? So, the median number of, the number of viewers for the median, what is that thing? Podcast is something extraordinarily small, right? And it's been pretty consistent. This is actually a weird thing that it's been so consistent. And why is it weird that it's been so consistent? It's weird that it's been so consistent because more and more people are listening to podcasts, right? But simultaneously, right, more and more people are making podcasts. So the number of science podcasts when I first started science podcasting was extremely low, right? There was no Neil deGrasse Tyson, there was no Sean Carroll doing it. And some of these people who do it, now that they have, now that the pandemic's ending, a lot of people have been podcasting, gotten into podcasting because of the pandemic, right? They said, okay, well, I don't have to go into work. I've saved a lot of time, so now I will go ahead and I'll do something else. I'll add something else to my resume, and I'll do this podcasting thing. Maybe that'll do stuff. And if you do well in podcasting, I mean, you can get a few dollars. It's, again, sort of like YouTube. It's a few dollars, right? I've seen one guy, and I have no idea how he did it. One guy, the titanium physicist guy, he does really well. Doesn't really have many more subscribers than me. I mean, it's hard to say because it's all decentralized. But when I look at it, he's got maybe 10% more subscribers than I do. But he makes, over $1,000 per podcast, right? If I were able to do that, I'd be able to really help out my the guy I podcast with a lot. It's not as bad now. I was really worried about it. I was trying to figure out some ways early on to help him out because he's an artist, unlike, as you can tell, me, right? I'm just sort of drawing things and trying to make it look sort of similar to a real thing, but Randy's, or I don't want to use his name, less because he might get associated with this, more because I might be associated with this. It's a weird thing to say, right? Because again, you'll remember part of the point of this is that getting some of these deals will be or getting some of these things going on here. This isn't technically correct. What I'm doing, this isn't what it really looks like. I need to do something like that. So, started off with a real picture, and now I'm drawing the funny looking things. So, let's see. Is that about the right oval shape? I think so. Okay, so now we need a podcaster dude. Yeah, see, this is where it would be nice if I was actually doing a live stream right now, because then I could ask you, well, what do you think the podcaster dude should look like? So we have, the face should be up here. Maybe this should be pointed down a little bit more. So this is pointing towards, in the picture that I see, this is pointing right towards the dude's nose. Okay, so this is right there in the nose. And then, yeah, this is not going to be exact. This is not going to be the same scale. So this is a little bit farther from the dude than maybe it should be, right? Well, listen to Joe Rogan. It's about one fist from your face. It's a fist from your face, right? So, yeah, I mean, podcasting is a lot like YouTube. 50% of podcasts get about 125 or fewer people to listen to them. Our podcast, our podcast has about, in the first month, our podcast has around, let's say, 7,000. And that's actually really good. So, I mean, that's like 95th percentile. I mean, you say, well, 95th percentile, that's pretty good. And it is reasonably good. It's a little over 5,000 people, right? 5,000 is about where you get ads. YouTube's a little different. About 2,000 is where you get, or about 200 is where you start to get ads. So, about 10,000 is where you get ads. 200 is the median. And that's partially because YouTube, this thing, I think this will go up on YouTube, is really, well, I mean, it's got the search engine on it, right? There is no search engine for oh, that is perfect. I need to use that base. Or is that one? Oh man. Let's see if I can do this. So, I have no idea what I was saying. So on YouTube, the algorithm is your friend, at least initially. Right? So yeah, you have 200 as your median. But as far as getting more and more hits and building a follower base, it's actually, or getting a better follower base, it's actually a little bit worse because the way that algorithm works is pretty bad. Okay, well, I'm going to put his. Yeah, I shouldn't put this up. So let's give him some curly hair. Okay, so actually, for some reason, the picture of a very old Bob Dylan showed up here. I like the curly hair and the sideburns. What I don't like is that he's not bald. Crazy podcasters should be bald. I'm not very bald yet. Maybe I will be soon. But for now, I am not bald. So let's leave him with those sad clown eyes. Right? They're sort of drooping down. And do you want him to have the sad clown eyes? The sad clown eyes look really good. There's another picture right here of a dude with an incredible nose. Bob Dylan has an okay nose. Right, he's got a pretty long nose with a little bit of a bulb at the end. But this other guy is just all bulb. It's awesome. I mean, it looks pretty bad. Ooh, a mustache. Give him a mustache. So, right, you know, the point of this isn't to have a Bob Dylan. It's just that Bob Dylan's face shows up, and so I'm going to use Bob Dylan as inspiration for a crazy podcaster. Okay, so now let's see what we can do. I don't know why they have a picture of Tesla as a crazy podcaster. That's what I get for using Yahoo search instead of, ooh, she looks crazy, instead of Google. Google probably has crazier looking podcasters. But yeah, I think a mustache would be good for the crazy looking Bob Dylan. Let's, instead of giving him the sad eyebrows, let's give him the crazy eyebrows and add a few wrinkles. Or do you want to give him a smile, or do you want to give him a... There's a girl here interviewing a guy in a monkey suit. So, let's see. Oh yeah, the smile's making him look crazy. I like that. That is a crazy looking podcaster. So he no longer looks like Bob Dylan, but now he's looking like a crazy podcaster. So again, Bob Dylan was just our inspiration for crazy podcaster. He wasn't intended to epitomize a crazy podcaster. He just looks a little crazy. Let me make sure about the Bob Dylan again. Okay, so we have the hair going up over the ears, like that. So we have the little curls. How does that go? He's got a very angular face. Okay, so this is looking a little bit like Keith Giffen around the time he was starting to go crazy. I don't know if he really went crazy, but his art went crazy. This is when I liked it the best, right? When he started doing the... I guess he wasn't, like somebody else drawing the logo, but he was also drawing some other things. He had some other... Trencher? Do you have a Trencher? Was that... one of Keith Giffen's? That thing was... that was insane, man. I loved it. Right, so... Now we do know that in reality nobody podcasts while wearing pants, right? All podcasters are naked, but we like to give the illusion that the podcasters are wearing clothes, right? And so we'll give them a collared shirt because both I want him to have that mustache. Look at that mustache. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that mustache. Oh, that is what a podcaster should look like. You want to give him glasses? I think so, yeah. Give him some big podcaster glasses. I don't know. Yeah, there we go, buddy. That's looking podcasty. Actually, now it's looking like Sam Lee. So, Sam Lee is what happens when Bob Dylan goes crazy and grows a mustache. So, let's see. Now, how should a podcaster... Okay, so we don't really have a... Let's move the shoulders up a little bit so that he's kind of crouching down and leaning on his shoulders, right? That might be a little bit better. Right, so the shirt goes around here. And let's make sure it does not look like it's ironed. And it is a podcaster. Podcasters don't iron their shirts. In fact, podcasters don't even own irons, right? Especially unlicensed podcasters. Licensed podcasters have to go to work at NPR or something like that, where they sell their soul and creativity for money. Right? Nobody at NPR or NBC, for that matter, but NPR, BBC, no one at any of those places has a soul. Nor do they have soul. So I have never, even when I was in DC, right? Even when I was in DC, even when I was in New York City, I never met anybody from NPR at a show, right? Never. Never. So NPR, NBC, those guys, no fucking soul. Completely useless twerps. Let's give him a cup of Joe. Right? Because obviously, if you're a podcaster, you are powered by caffeine, and you can feel no pain. So let's roll up the thing, roll up the sleeves, and we'll put the other hand over here somewhere. And since it's behind the other hand, we don't have to worry too much about it. Just make sure that that first finger sort of looks handy. Okay, so this thing doesn't look very good, so I'm going to put this other one up here. Trying to make it look good. Alright, so that, how long have I been doing this? That's my 30 minutes of the unlicensed podcasters. So this is unlicensed podcasters. Okay, and let's see what we can do. I'm just going to use a Sharpie. Again, you know, could use much more advanced tools. But on the other hand, I'm doing this right under a document camera. So let's see. How are we going to do the eyes? So now if I was just going to leave this, oh, that doesn't look good. If I was just going to leave this as black and white no matter what, then I'd probably stipple the glass, right? So I just stipple in the glass to give it the view of to make it look like it's sort of shaded. But later on, if I decide that I want to if I decide that I want to color these in or something later on, rather than completely redraw them, repaint them later, then, oh, I forgot it's not too late. Yay, it's not too late. Okay, I want to have a little hanging medallion here, because the crazy guy, oh, that's not a medallion, that's a key, that's awesome. Oh, it's too far down, you can't see that it's a key. Oh. A grown man wearing his key around his neck. That is so awesome. Oh. I can't put swag line or anything like that under it. I don't know what to do. Okay, so let's put a little shading in over here. And let's make sure that it looks like an old man who's balding on top and has lots of curly hair and sideburns. That's what we love. Oh man, this guy is so hip. This is what chicks dig, man. Oh yeah. Yeah, I think I saw this guy the other day. Yeah, he was at a bar in Seattle picking up all the chicks, man. He was so awesome. This is the Seattle scene, dude. Yeah. Never seen a 20-year-old girl that can resist a man like that. He is the woke daddy, man. This is where, I mean, you know that. The reason why there's a whole woke movement is date rape, or to encourage date rape by old men on their third marriages. Okay, those glasses look awful now. That's all right. We'll put a thing here. Remember, glasses have little things over here, I think, because they have to connect to the ears. Yeah, look at this guy, man. So sexy. So sexy. Make sure he parts the mustache correctly. I mean, he's very into his personal grooming. Okay, so let's see here. I could. Yeah, so I don't know if I want to. Should I do this with the. This is a stupid question because it'll be done. Should I link this to my Instagram account? Because I think for my Instagram account and for my little trading cards, artist trading cards, I do have a YouTube, or not a YouTube, but a Gmail associated with it. So if I'm going to make one of these every week, probably should go ahead and post it on the Instagram. Like I said, or maybe I didn't say, but I hope I implied, the major point of these cards is to offend everyone, and I don't want to offend the people I like. Or to be more specific, I don't want to offend anybody at work. Right? So people I like are generally more opinionated than me. Although they generally have similar opinions, like Trump is a jerk, but your guy's even worse. Your guy is worse than Trump because he pretends not to be a jerk, but he really is a jerk, man. Didn't you know that? No, you don't, do you? You're all in. All right. Okay, so I have offended you. Thank you very much. Yeah, who knows? Maybe this will look okay, maybe it won't. I'm going with won't right now. Obviously, on the other hand, this is going to be highly reduced in the long run. Unfortunately, putting these lines together, I've made something that looks like it came from an Escher drawing. Not on purpose. If it was on purpose, it would be fine. Okay, now I will do the stipple. Now, I like stipples a lot. If I have linked this to my Instagram account, then you know, because you're probably the only people that would see this. But even if I color this, even if I paint this, that stipple will help give some sort of texture to that screen. So I'll leave it there. Okay, so now let's work on this. Now remember, we'll have to make sure. Oh, my shirt doesn't have a pocket. I'll try to remember. I think the pocket's on the left side. You're lucky I'm wearing a shirt. I'm even wearing a shirt while recording. That's weird. Especially considering how hot it is. That's mostly because I had been trying to get a live stream going. Then YouTube told me, oh, you can't live stream. You have to wait 24 hours. It's a 24-hour waiting period. Otherwise, anybody could live stream. What would happen then? Okay, this guy's looking a little too buff, so I'm going to try to reduce his size. Let's see, where's my watch? My watch would be behind here, so this guy is not necessarily a millennial. Millennials, unfortunately, are now old enough to start looking like this. It starts in the 40s. Well, actually, I knew some guys that in college were balding like that, but for the most part, it's in the 40s, right? So, poor millennials. Alright, let's see here a little bit. Oh, this is going to be not so great. Not liking that. Oh well. There we go. That looks a little bit like a cup. Let's give it a little bit of shading. This isn't doing the right job. Okay, and a little bit around there, a little thicker line just for fun. Maybe we can just make a thicker line over here. That'll help out a little bit. Cross-hatch those. That gives it a little bit of depth. Again, this is going to end up being 1.5 inches by 2 inches. So I don't want to go overboard. Alright, now this might be my... I don't know, I don't have the enough things. This might be my Thursday drawing, so we'll just pretend we know what a hand looks like over here. So that's more or less destroyed the drawing. There we go. Now what we could do is we could give him multiple keys, right? So that we see the bottom of the second key down here. Maybe definitely nobody will notice that, right? So let's give a little more shading there, darken that up. Let's just turn that completely dark. And something like that. Like I said, we don't have to worry about that watch. Although I'm worrying about the watch, and that doesn't look very good. It's okay. No, it's not okay. Let's see, can I save it? It's close enough to saving it. Okay. So, yeah, so like I said, we're going to break that inner wall a little bit, right? But not too much. I don't right here see a good reason to do that. I am going to try my best to draw a straight line on top of a straight line, which, if I'm looking correctly, is the wrong straight line. Let's see. Is that correct? Centimeters, inches, yeah, the bottom one. This can be edited out really well, but later on, but when I actually cut the thing in Photoshop or whatever, I'm kidding, me pay for Photoshop, right? In Paint. It'd be nice to have more or less the right border. Again, I think I chose bridge size cards because I could fit more on my little thing. So that guy is my unlicensed podcaster's drawing. Some things I don't like about it. Let's put a couple of lines there for the oh, that does. Oh, now I'm looking at that. Does it look crazy enough? Doesn't look. Okay, let's try to even these things out by making his glasses thicker. Podcasters love thick glasses. And you're saying, how do I know that? I say that because I've seen the pictures of, oh man, I forgot those guys' names. Oh God. Used to listen to them all the time too. Merlin Mann, John Roderick, and there was one other dude. There was the actual cool dude that interviewed both of them. So, okay, well, I know how to do this. Road work. Oh, see, road work, horrible name, domain. Let's see. I just remember 5. No, that's not it. Road work, back to work, Roderick on the line. Who was that other guy? He was the important one. He was the guy I actually liked. Road work. Not John Syracuse. I didn't like John Syracuse. Reminds me of my students. Podcast. 5x5 is the thing. Dan. That's his name, Dan Benjamin. Dan Benjamin, there it is. Okay. So, yeah, we had... all those guys have giant glasses. And they advertise for this place for giant glasses. So, there is our crazy podcaster. Maybe I should have just drawn John Roderick. But actually, Merlin Mann and John Roderick, I will make them another card. And we'll just have this guy who started out as Bob Dylan and turned into Stan Lee, almost, as that guy. So, it's weird. Scribbles are really heavy on the paper when I look at it, but you can barely see it on that. But I'll erase it, put it up on the art page, and I guess I'm going to put it up on the art page. I may as well put this on the art page. Oh, his nose looks broken. That's okay. You can say that's a homage to Joe Rogan. Alright, you good, I'm good, we're all good. Thank you very much for watching me draw one of these things, and hopefully they'll get better. They probably won't get too much better. A couple years ago I drew pictures for each one of the sort of topic areas in my classes with the inks, and that really improved my inking a lot, a whole lot, right? Because I did that for like 3 months straight, 2 illustrations a day, enough for an entire semester. And man, that that worked really well. But that means I'm probably about as good as I'm going to get. Not quite true, but kind of true. Alright, well, so hopefully by next Tuesday I'll have figured out how to get the live stream going so that I can look at this thing. So I had 2 problems with the live stream. One, that Google wouldn't do it. Okay, it's 3. 1, Google didn't let me live stream right away. 2, I didn't know what email address I wanted to associate this with, or what address I wanted to associate this with. And 3 was the one I was going to tell you about. And 3, this webcam, or this camera, this document cam, was not actually picked up by my, what is that thing called? Wasn't picked up by my streaming software. So I could show you my face, but I couldn't show you my hand. And who gives a damn about my face? I'm a really handsome man. That's absolutely true. I know that because every time I go to the shoe store, the girl working there tells me I'm a 10, right? So I'm definitely a good-looking dude. But that is not the reason why you're here. You're not here to look at my beautiful face. You're here to look at my sucky drawings, right? So, anyways, thanks for listening, guys. Like I said, I'll try to get live streams up from now on so that I can go through and get all of these things made. Probably I'll have to somehow fill out all 60 of these. I'll go check out some games. Hidden somewhere in the attic I have, not in the attic, in the garage I have some deck building games. I want to make this deck destroying game. I think it should probably have a number of repeated cards, so I should sort of get an idea from that how many I should have. So like Unlicensed Podcaster is perfect. You can have several of those in a deck, right? Because there are lots of podcasters. Podcasting is a growing field. Have lots of them going on. Later on with the other ones, then we'll see what's going to happen. So yeah, I think I'll end up doing this with my art account. I think I've got 2 game accounts, right? One was for a class I was doing on how to program physics engines for video games, and one is for me programming sort of roguelikes. So neither one of those really fit. The art account would fit for this. So probably I'll do that. So anyways, those are Unlicensed Podcasters. Hopefully in the future we can do this live, and then when I'm asking myself, what the hell should this guy look like? You can help me out, right? That would be awesome to get some opinions right then and there, because now this guy looks like what he's going to look like, right? Because I'm not going to draw it again. Fun as it was, kind of, it's as fun as it's going to be. But as fun as it was, it is not the sort of thing that I think I will, want to draw again. It's, sort of a one-time deal, this guy. Should maybe add a little. Should never look at things. Don't look at things again. When you think you're done, just go. Go, run away. Otherwise, especially with something like this thing does not have to be perfect. This thing does not even have to be good. And if you don't believe me, take a peek at the original art from Ascension. It's awful art, but it's perfect. Perfect for the game, right? I mean, I would never, ever, ever have any one of those pieces anywhere near my house. But damn if it isn't perfect for the game. It completely fits the game, right? And that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to get this to fit the game. So maybe I should have tried to look more like Justin Trudeau or something. That's the wrong Trudeau. Okay. Gary Trudeau. Maybe I should have done something more like cartoonist thing. That would be good because that would be faster. That's what I did the other thing. I think that's fine. How does that look? Okay, yeah, it looks a little bit better. He's at a table, podcasting by the table, not just in the middle of nowhere. So that'll probably do me. I've been saying goodbye for 20 minutes, haven't I? Okay. All right, well, thank you very much for listening. Watching me doodle my doodles for you. So, if you have any comments, ooh, man. Oh. Yeah, that's not looking good. Normally when I draw you know, with the vertical thing. I can't directly go over this. This is bad. Let's see what I can do to fix that up a little bit later on. But that's what we have for today for this guy. All right. Bye now.